one of my buddies has the Strymon Iridium, which is, you know, sort of the it pedal over the last, I don't know, year and a half or so for amp modeling if you're going to go direct in to your board. And that's exactly what I've got going on today. I have my pedal board, and I've got, forgive me how kind of messy it looks, I've just kind of patched these AC tones in here, or American, these JOYOs or JOYO, however you say it. Here's kind of what I was trying to do today is I borrowed Lee Setzer's Iridium to see really what is all the big deal about. And I played this thing a lot last night. And I played with these $40 JOYO or JOYO pedals. This one here, the AC tone, it does a Vox type sound and does a pretty good job at it. And this American one over here does a Fender sound. They also have different ones. They have one that'll do sort of a Mesa Boogie sound. They have one that does the Marshall. These are the two, you know, typically I have always kind of leaned toward Fender sounds and Vox sounds. That's just been me over the years. I've played through some Marshalls. I got a buddy that's like a total Marshall aficionado. His name's Travis McKinney. One of these days I want to introduce you to him in one of my videos. I've done enough explaining what's going on, but what I wanted to show is you know, since this thing, this Iridium models Fenders, if you go up to the top up here, it models the chime that it has down here. Chime is for a Vox. And at the very bottom, it's got this thing that says punch. That is the Marshall sound that it does. And then you've got cabinets. You've got impulse responses programmed in. Now that's what these other two cheap pedals, these are $40 a piece, $40 a piece roughly. This is $400 over here, this Iridium. So my thought was, could I compare the models in the $40 pedals to the Iridium, and how favorably would they compare? And it turns out pretty good, honestly. So right now what you're hearing this $120 Ibanez Ax120. I thought I'd go ahead and just show how a very low price budget guitar, although a nice one, would sound through some of these different modelers. So this is how it sounds. Going straight into my board. I'm going to drop the gain just a little bit so I don't peek out here. So that's a dry signal. Sounds pretty nice. I'm on the bridge pickup. Let me hit this JOYO or JOYO, the AC tone here. Makes me think I'm going to do it. And here we go. Now. Suddenly you've got that kind of voxy, that sort of voxy vibe there, that voxy fullness. I'm gonna dial a few things in here with this. So you can go up with the drive a lot more. I'll take the level down a little when I do the drive up. Let me go to the neck pickup. Now let me play it without it for a second again. Not a bad sounding sound, but listen to that. Let me hit it with a little bit of reverb over here, my Hall of Fame reverb. Folks, that is a pretty cool sounding amp there. I'm going to dial the lows back just a little bit, mids up. And you got this thing called voice here, which just... So there's that one. And I can go through 1,000 different ways that you could set it. It's pretty much limitless. Let me do the American one here. So here it is playing. Here's the Fender sound. I've got the drive set up a little higher than probably ought to be set up. Let's go to a sort of a cleaner sound here. Again, dry. not bad, just kind of no character, right? Let me do this voice here and go up just a little bit with it. And take that drive back a little more, even go up with the level, just cleaning it up a little bit, folks. Again, off. And if I crank the drive back up a little bit, I'll just go all the way crazy with the drive for a second. Let's take that volume back just a little bit. You scoop the mids just a little so it sounds like. That is pretty wicked. Let's go back to the AC tone over here with the Vox. So let's drive it up just a little bit here, right? Let's crank the drive up, level back. Let's show you the difference. So here's the old Vox. Let's go to the American. Back to the Vox. A bit more of that Voxy chime, isn't it? I'll crank the mids back a little bit on that. Turn that voice up a little. The American. Mids up. Now me, I'm a guy, I've got a tube overdrive and stuff over here. I've got my distortion overdrive. And these little pedals sound fantastic, but I am the kind of guy that does like amp type overdrive, and that sounds pretty great. So let's crank that overdrive, that drive back down for a second. I just want to show you something that's pretty cool. Do the same thing over here with this one. Level up, drive down a little bit. So this is what I think is pretty excellent. I'm going to turn this off for a second. I'm going to click my little overdrive over here. So that sounds, this is just the guitar and that overdrive and a little bit of reverb. Pretty cool. But listen what happens when you add an amp to it. And back to the overdrive again. It goes, it just gives it that definition, doesn't it? Take it off again a second. That's a big sound I've been hearing on records for a long time. It's that kind of deal right there. Turn this one off and go to the AC again. Boy, it sounds way different. Again with it off. Pretty sweet. Let's go over to the Iridium for a minute now. So here we go. Let's turn this overdrive off. And the thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn the Hall of Fame off for a minute. And I'm going to hit on. And I'm in the Fender sound. So off. And on. So we got an impulse response that you can turn up to get different levels of room reverb, depending on how far away they put the mic and what kind of mics they have. And you got different impulse responses, different cabs here. I've got this in the upper position here. We go back to the middle one here, to the middle one. A totally different sound. Let's turn it off for a second and listen to how this sounds here now. So here, this is the little overdrive. Check this out. Let's take that, drive that room all the way up. That much of that. I'd probably keep it about middle. Alright, let's turn this off again for a second here. Go to the clean. So I'm sure you're wondering what's the comparison between these two. And of course you can craft these any way you want to. I'm going to turn that drive up and level, drive down the level up. And of course this one does not have reverb, so I have to turn it back on. Turn the reverb off, turn this off, this on. I mean, they're close, they're not the same. You change that cab again on this one. Here's this one, go down to whatever this bottom one is. I'm going to hit a tube screamer. Okay, turn it off. That's what it sounds like without the cab. Back on. Let's go to the chime one here, which is the Vox, right? Okay, so I've got it on. I'm going to turn the tube screamer off for a second. It's much more responsive to the drive. Let me turn the drive down on this and level up. Turn the level up just a little bit more. Turn it off so you hear it. Here's the plane. Here it is with the Iridium. And with a little bit of the overdrive. Crank the level up just a little on there. Go to a different cab here, to the first cab that they give you here. let's see, I'm going to turn the room up just a little bit, and let's give this thing a little bit more bass, a little bit more middle, a little less treble. Without. Just totally lacks character unless you've got the amp. So let's turn this off and go back to the turn the drive down and level up on this one. Here's the JOYO again. And again, I have to turn that voice down some, level up, drive down. It approximates the other one a little better. I like it a lot. Of course, it always helps to have a little reverb if you're using that one, right? I'm going to turn a little bit of a delay on here too. That's what we got here. Crank it up just a little. Let's go back to the Iridium, and let's take a different cab here, the bottom one. Again, off, so you can hear it clean, unaffected except for the delay and the reverb, and now back. Let's crank a little drive up here on that. Well, you hear the drive on the Iridium. I hit the bass instead of the drive. I'm crazy. Here we go, drive and level back. Let's turn it all the way up. I have the TC Electron, the Hall of Fame on. Turn it off. Better check my tuning for a second. Now, I want to show you what I discovered last night. That, of course, I guess I should show you it. Let me show you in there, cab. That bottom cab down there, this lower one here, sounds really great. Turn it off. Back over here to the AC tone. Let's turn some drive back up on that one again and level back down. All right. So the thing I started playing around with last night is what do they sound like together, right? Let me turn this Iridium back down a little bit here. We've got them both going on. I'll say we turn the room. Let me turn the drive down some on the Iridium and the level up. Okay. Sounds pretty nice. Now let's do the with the AC tone. All right, let's hear it with the American. So here it is without it. Here it is with it. This is both the Iridium and the American. little distortion with it. Actually helps. It actually, let me turn the Iridium off for a second. That's just the American and the overdrive. Let's turn the Iridium on. Turn the Iridium off. Turn some reverb on. Off, on. Insane. And look, for fun, let's go down to the Marshall, because the Marshall sounds really nice too. So that's the Marshall with the American in front of it. Let's turn the American off. Turn the AC tone on. Back to the bridge pickup. And crank that highs back and lows up a little. Get some more mids. That's a big sound. I've not hit all three of them together at once. See how this sounds? Oh, that's crazy. Let's turn the level back a little bit, drive back a little, warm it up just a little bit here with the American. Like I see, I'm probably peaking a little bit here. Go back down with the level just a little bit more over here with this. Hall of Fame off, room up. We're still in the Marshall over here. American and AC tone. It's hit it with a little bit of a overdrive there too. Oh, it's noisy. Let's turn the drive back just a little bit here. This is killer. Drive up on the Marshall, drive down on the AC tone. Peeking out. This bass, let's bring it back down some. Drive up on the Marshall. And it's kind of flat. Throw a C in here. Let's see. Highs up. Without the AC, with it, American, drive all the way up one time, level down a bit. Just the Iridium. I could go on for hours. As you can see, you could dial in, I think, just about any kind of excellent overdrive. And I'll be honest, it's faster to get the sound you want with something like this than it is with my Helix. I can sit there for hours trying to dial in just a fraction of what I've been able to do with these three pedals. My last thoughts, I guess, on this is $40 pedals are worth having sometimes. You can see what it adds to this Strymon, which the Strymon is fantastic. Turn this TC electronic off for a second. I've been in the Marshall sound for a good long while, back to the Fender sound. As you can see, I mean, it's just limitless what you could do with this thing. And it's all way better than what your dry guitar sounds. And I've recorded this way before and added stuff with a computer. But this just brings it all to life, doesn't it? It just really brings life. That's what I would say about it. The thing about the Iridium is there are like hundreds and hundreds of different IRs, impulse responses you can go there and download. I'm just using what's in the pedal, and Lee said he'd done a kind of factory reset on that pedal so that I could, you know, not hear anything that he had done. And so thank you, Lee Setzer, for letting me monkey with these. I don't know if anybody's done an experiment where they're putting these other pedals and tubes, so that the signal path I've had today, just so you know, it's going into the tuner, into the vintage tube overdrive from Behringer, into the overdrive distortion. I've got the silencer on. I haven't even hit it today. I want you to hear the noise level you get with these things. But then going into the AC tone, and going into the JOYO or JOYO American, and then into the Strymon Iridium, and then going up to the flashback for some, you know, for some delay if I wanted to use delay. I thought I might do some crazier delays, but I didn't. And then using the TC electronic to create some room sound, since these two don't have it, but this one does. So, you know, you're going to be getting some impulse response reverb there from that. It goes from like almost nothing like this, small room, I guess, up to big room. And it's just unreal, the difference. Because, you know, that pedal sounds okay with this off. Listen. A little fizzy though, doesn't it? It sounds a little digitally. Listen how this just kills that. I mean, it's like an album type sound, like what you hear on the records. This thing really makes the, or this one, either one, makes the cheap pedals sound even better. I mean, even these make the cheap pedals sound better. With it off. Incredible difference it makes. Turn it off. Friends, just a ton of fun. Is the Iridium worth having? I definitely think so, just because of the impulse responses and the flexibility of that. And in tandem with these things, you just get some killer sounds. We do live in a great day if you're looking to get some spectacular drive sounds and just, you know, for not a whole lot of money. That's an expensive pedal, $400 for me. I mean, if I pay $200 for a pedal, that's a lot. But I have to say, that's pretty amazing. It probably does live up to the hype. I mean, you could set, particularly since you can get hundreds of other impulse responses. But I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the way all of this sounds together. It makes me want to get a bigger pedal board and start doing all my recordings direct. And, you know, of course, the Helix and stuff, I'm still mastering it. It's technical. It's a lot of almost like programming. You have to use sometimes it's better to use your computer. This, you just reach down and you grab something and you get what you want. Now, I guess for going out and gigging, if you're going to change 50 different sounds over the course of a different sound for each song, then it's going to be way better to go with something like a Helix. But I'll be darned if this just ain't rocking. Just in ways that I just never anticipated. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like.